Welcome to the It Factor. We're Jimmy and Nye, exploring a new blog post by Mr. Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML, a managed service provider in Queens, NY, offering network management, voice over IP, unified communications as a service, cybersecurity, compliance infrastructure as a service, cloud solutions, and Microsoft 365 and Azure solutions.
That is quite the impressive list of services, honestly.
It really is. And, if you're a small business owner or manage IT for a growing organization, this deep dive is for you.
Absolutely, because the topic today is, frankly, something every business owner needs to hear.
Right. We're looking at Len Kaplan's article titled, Why Hack Systems When You Can Hack People? And the hook here is that everything you think you know about hackers like smashing through firewalls or writing this complex malicious code is basically becoming obsolete.
Yeah, the modern hacker isn't breaking in anymore. They're simply being invited in.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge shift in how we think about cybersecurity, right?
It's a complete paradigm shift. I mean, we operate under this outdated assumption that a cyber attack is this highly technical machine versus machine battle.
Like in the movies. Just green text on a black screen.
Exactly. We picture these sophisticated algorithms fighting it out. But Kaplan points out that while our technology is better than ever, attackers have just stopped trying to defeat the software.
Because it's too hard now.
Well, yeah. Why spend weeks trying to break a 256-bit encryption key when human psychology is, infinitely easier to manipulate?
So it's like a burglar spending hours trying to pick this massive, complex bank vault lock when they could just, put on a suit and ask the bank manager for the key.
That is the perfect analogy, and they are literally just asking for the key.
But wait, if our digital locks like next-generation firewalls and antivirus are so much better now, why are we seeing more breaches than ever? I mean, companies spend billions on security training. Shouldn't we be relatively immune to this by now?
You think so, right? But the data gives a pretty sobering answer. Kaplan references industry threat intelligence, specifically the Mandiant M-Trends report.
And Mandiant does incident response, right? So they see the actual breaches after they happen.
Right. They are analyzing the forensics of successful attacks, and their data shows attackers are going for the path of least resistance. The primary entry point isn't some zero-day software vulnerability anymore.
Oh, wow. So what is it?
It's stolen credentials. There's this whole underground economy of initial access brokers.
Wait, like people whose entire job is just to steal passwords?
Exactly. They steal the usernames and passwords, and then they sell them to ransomware gangs. The games just buy the access, go to your company's login page, and type it in.
So our multi-million-dollar security sec is essentially defeated by a totally legitimate login request.
Yeah, because to the firewall, it just looks like you logging in to do your job. And once they're in, they move fast. Within minutes, they're inside the systems, grabbing whatever they want.
I want to pause real quick just to say, if you are finding this helpful, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out. So, if attackers are just asking for the key, how are they tricking people so easily?
Well, social engineering has evolved. It's not what it used to be.
Yeah, because I play the skeptical listener here. Most of us know better by now, don't we? We know not to click on a shady link from a Nigerian prince or, an email that's full of typos.
Oh, for sure. We've gotten smarter about the obvious stuff, but Kaplan counters that with the reality of modern attacks. It is no longer just phishing emails in your spam folder.
Right. The goal isn't to trick the spam filter. It's to gain your trust.
Exactly. They are slipping right into your daily workflows. We are talking about malicious messages on Microsoft Teams or Slack or even SMS texts to your personal phone.
Wow. Pretending to be management or the IT department.
Yeah. They'll set up fake login pages that look visually identical to the real Microsoft 365 portal. Or they impersonate the help desk and ask you to approve a multi-factor authentication prompt.
An MFA prompt. Yeah, think about your own day, honestly. How many times do you just mindlessly click approve on an MFA alert on your phone while you're multitasking?
All the time. And attackers weaponize that. Kaplan talks about a tactic called MFA fatigue.
Oh, the mechanics of this are fascinating. It reminds me of a toddler repeatedly asking for a toy while you're trying to lead a Zoom call.
That's a great way to put it.
Right. At first you say no, but if the toddler asks 50 times in a row, eventually you just hand over the toy to make the noise stop so you can focus.
Yeah, that's literally what happens. The attacker has your password. They spam the login page so your phone buzzes relentlessly. Eventually, you just tap approve, assuming your email app is stuck.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though, because if they're doing this to thousands of people, It's like an automated assembly line replacing manual labor. What is driving this massive scale of deception?
Well, traditional defenses got too good, so they shifted to humans. But the real game changer, artificial intelligence.
AI. Of course it's AI.
Yeah. Historically, writing a highly targeted, convincing message took days of research. Stalking your LinkedIn, reading corporate charts. Now, AI automates the whole reconnaissance phase. It takes seconds. They plug an automated script into a large language model, scrape your company's public GitHub and LinkedIn, and the AI writes a flawless message.
Oh, man. So it can reference a project you actually worked on that day using the right internal jargon, and it comes from your actual manager's name.
Exactly. And it generates 10,000 of these unique messages for 10,000 different employees globally, instantly.
Just a quick reminder for our listeners, by the way, new blog posts from CDML are published every Tuesday and Thursday, so definitely keep an eye out for those.
They put out some really great insights.
Okay, so to make this abstract AI threat super concrete, let's walk through the real-world scenario from Kaplan's article, the Teams trap.
Yeah, this is chilling. Imagine getting a Microsoft Teams message that looks exactly like it's from your IT department.
Right. It's got the right logo. The tone is professional. It says there's a routine security update happening, which totally makes sense.
The timing is perfect. It just asks you to click a link to confirm your login so your account doesn't get locked out.
And the request is urgent, but, reasonable. So you click it. You approve the MFA request on your phone. Boom.
The attacker is in.
And the crazy part is, no malware was installed.
None at all.
No firewall was bypassed. The system wasn't technically hacked. It was a pure exploitation of human trust.
Yep. They use these proxy frameworks, things like Evil Jinx, that sit between you and Microsoft. You type your password, they forward it to Microsoft. Microsoft sends the MFA prompt to your phone.
You approve it, and then the proxy steals the session cookie.
Exactly. And once they have that session cookie, they don't even need your password anymore. They are just in.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? If throwing more money at software isn't enough, how do you actually patch, a trust vulnerability?
That's the big question. Kaplan outlines that you need a comprehensive, human-centric defense strategy. You can't abandon technology, but you have to pair it with human risk reduction.
Right, so we're talking about moving beyond that once-a-year boring compliance video you have to watch.
Oh, absolutely. It requires ongoing active security awareness training. People need to experience benign simulations of these specific Teams and SMS attacks so they know what it feels like.
What about the technology side?
You have to enforce MFA across all critical systems, but ideally move to FIDO2 hardware keys. Those are physical USB keys that can't be tripped by those fake proxy sites.
Oh, that makes sense, because the hardware actually checks if the website is real, even if your eyes are fooled.
Exactly. And you also need strict verification procedures. If you get a weird request on Teams, you don't reply on Teams.
Right, out-of-band verification. You pick up the phone and call the IT person on your internal network to verify it.
Yes. Plus, monitoring login behavior to flag anomalies quickly. If someone's account suddenly logs in from another country right after an MFA approval, the system needs to isolate that account automatically.
And this is exactly where CDML comes in. They help businesses combine those technical tools, the ongoing training, and the incident response strategies. Protecting your people is now just as critical as protecting your network.
It really is the new front line.
Definitely. So if you want to learn more, I highly recommend you visit cdml.com and subscribe to their blog.
It's totally worth it to stay ahead of these threats.
So to quickly recap our biggest takeaway today, your organization's biggest flaw isn't a glitch in your software anymore. It's a convincing message and a false sense of urgency.
Yeah. And I want to leave everyone with a final, lingering question to ponder.
Well, go for it.
If artificial intelligence can already perfectly mimic your boss's writing style in a Slack message to steal your credentials today, what happens when it can perfectly mimic your boss's voice on a phone call tomorrow?
Oh, wow. Audio deepfakes.
Right. How will your team verify who is actually giving the orders when the voice on the phone sounds exactly like the CEO?
That's terrifying to think about, honestly. We really have to rethink how we verify trust. Well, stay safe out there, stay informed, and definitely think critically about your own digital routine.
And verify those urgent requests.
Always. We're Jimmy and I. Thanks for listening. Till next time.